Hey YouTube, Jeremy right here. Started a 20-gallon tank yesterday. It currently has a red betta hanging out in it. Don't know where he is at the moment, but I'm looking at something much smaller. This tank has been filled entirely with rainwater and containers that were sitting outside. And there's a lot of little bitty stuff. So I'm going to try and zoom further. There's another tank light clicking off. But can you see all the little critters in here? Uh-oh, we lost focus again. Let me try to get on that root. There we go. Yeah. So the bed has only been in here a few hours. The tank has been going since yesterday. It's not yet full, but totally digging all the little stuff in here. If I were to put guppies or something in here, they would be like gone by tomorrow. But with a single betta in here, I don't know. There's kind of a chance that little stuff might thrive and survive. So I'm going to keep this going as an experiment. Currently, no filter. It's soil. There's the betta. Soil under sand. And right now it's got some bacopa, some rotala, floating plants, a little bit of java moss thrown down in the bottom. It's not set up yet. It's not an aquascape. This is just a live aquarium coming together that has a tremendous amount of life in it from the onset. So it's very different than most people begin tanks. I started with some organic mulch that's been sitting out like literally at the edge of my greenhouse for like 2 or 3 years, and just kind of raked away the top and grabbed some stuff that was in the bottom. I mixed that with a little bit of potting mix, organic potting mix that I had, and from there grabbed a bag of sand that I had. This is not ideal sand. It's blasting sand. It's not pool filter sand. It could be better. But we then kind of had a mishap when filling and punched through the sand cap. When that happens, dirt and stuff goes everywhere. So I made a video of me actually skimming the top of this tank, getting the floating organic matter out. But I hadn't yet really looked at this under light up close, and I'm thrilled to see what was in here. So again, zooming in just so we can begin to look at the little critters. The zooplankton. Freshwater ecology is pretty cool. If you simply leave a tub or a bucket out in your yard to collect rain, you end up with this stuff. That's exactly how I got this. Just from buckets that I'm growing plants in my backyard. They also end up getting mosquito larvae and bloodworms in them all by themselves, and I just go scoop them out and feed them to my tropical fish. But this sort of thing, really cool if I were to maybe decide to breed bettas. This kind of stuff might work well. So again, these guys are sort of on the Daphnia scale. It's probably what they are. But this is a different way of starting an aquarium, starting kind of bottom up by the little creatures, the microbiology, and the microinvertebrates, even the macroinvertebrates. There's a little bit of stuff in here that we're not yet seeing. There were definitely some like mosquito larvae in the water that I poured in here. Now that's okay. I knew I was putting a betta in here. They're not gonna last. He's cruising around like eating stuff. But yeah, I've been the custodian of this guy for quite a while, and I'm glad to have him back because he was living with a friend um, while I was doing some home remodeling. And 7 months later, got the tank that he was in back. And he was in a community for a time, so he's back in a tank of his own. And we'll start maybe a betta friendly community over here where there's not guppy fry for him to feast upon. There are instead mosquito larvae. And clearly he's enjoying the place. So I'll leave the light on for a little bit for dude. He's been in here less than 2 hours, probably less than an hour and a half. But kind of cool. So yeah, again, this is just a 20-gallon tall. It's in the early stages, so I don't have a choice light on it yet. The filter's not even on. It's just going in a way that promotes the bottom of the food web. Just the very bottom of the food web. I'll probably go outside and get some leaf litter to just drop in here and sprinkle across the sand. That's wet leaf litter is what I'm talking about. The leaves that have fallen into some of my buckets that are soaked and saturated. They have a lot of life in them and that feasts upon them. So probably a lot of the little critters that we saw in here are actually going to be the sort of things that will eat and feast upon leaf litter if I were to grab some and just stick it down in the bottom of the tank right on top of the sand. But yeah, I was kind of impressed when I came over here and saw how much stuff is alive in here. That's what I was going for. Success. Thanks for watching this. If you enjoy this sort of thing, give me a like, subscribe. I try to share quite a few aquatic videos, but there's also a lot of organic gardening and DIY stuff. But thanks. Catch you later.